All right on the top of the bulletin, the news that we are breaking right now. Just about minutes after joining the BJP, Naresh Agrawal, former Samajwadi Party leader, hit out at Jaya Bachchan. The reason why he did so is because it all started over a ticket to Rajya Sabha. Both the term for the ticket that the Samajwadi Party has to Rajya Sabha was completing, and Samajwadi Party has decided to give that ticket to Jaya Bachchan there and not Naresh Agrawal, which led to Naresh Agrawal jumping ship from the Samajwadi Party to the BJP. Now, while he was being welcomed by the top leadership of the BJP, you have Mr. Piyush Goyal right there, the power minister and the railway minister, he turned around and made a comment which can be despicable. Listen in to Naresh Agrawal saying, in fact, using the most despicable of language by calling Jaya Bachchan nothing short of a नाचने वाली. Listen in.
तो समाजवादी पार्टी अपने आप समझ रही कि हम नहीं रह गए, जबकि 2012 में पूरी समाजवादी पार्टी उत्तर प्रदेश में दिखी थी. तो जिस तरह समाजवादी पार्टी को समाप्त किया जा रहा है और फिल्मों में काम करने वाली से मेरी हैसियत कर दी गई, एक फिल्मों में डांस कर दें, अपना रोल कर दें, वो लोग उनके नाम पर हमारा टिकट काटा गया.
All right, I want to bring in Anandya Banerjee, who's joining me for more details on this. You know, Anandya, can you take us through the reactions coming in for the BJP? Because for Mr. Naresh Agrawal, this is common language. We've heard him say this about many women who have been parliamentarians and even outside, the kind of commentary that he's subject to a lot of times. But what does the BJP have to say about their newfound leader?
Well, immediately after what he said inside the press conference, they realized they have made a goof up of Himalayan proportion, and probably within 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, Sambit Patra, the party spokesperson, who was also on the dais, stood up and said that I want to make a clarification as far as BJP is concerned. We respect and we welcome everybody coming from all walks of life, from all profession. But by that time, damage has been done, and those words couldn't undo those damage that has been perpetrated by Naresh Agrawal. If this is not sexism, what is? If this is not, sheer display of absolute disregard for women, what is? And the kind of after that, I tried to ask him when he was came off the stage that are you apologizing? Do you want to reconsider your statement? He just brazened out. He didn't answer at all. And to the interestingly, Piyush Goyal was also there, escorted him out, saying Sambit Patra will give a reaction, and Sambit Patra were nowhere to be seen. So that is the stated position of the BJP. Absolute silence all around.
It's bizarre, Anand. It's definitely bizarre, because you have a Sambit Patra standing up minutes after Mr. Agrawal makes a preposterous comment like that and saying that the BJP doesn't stand by any of this. Doesn't he not realize that Mr. Agrawal now is the BJP? We are going to come right back to it. But let's listen in to his former party members and what they have to say suddenly about Mr. Agrawal. Listen in to Ghanshyam Tiwari, spokesperson, Samajwadi Party.
Well, it is a shame that he made comments of a union minister, and the union minister kept quiet, and the BJP spokesperson sheepishly spoke on this rather than confronting the statement. And second, there are such people whose statements have in the past troubled Samajwadi Party, troubled the society at large, and are invited at BJP, whereas BJP has used their statements to build its own political capital, demonstrates the double speak of BJP as a party. Leaders who have shown their utter disregard for society and for the country and soldiers are not, Samajwadi Party is not ready to elevate such leaders again in Rajya Sabha, and so they have to leave.
So, all right, as we wait in for reactions coming in from the BJP, Anand, I want to come to you. Of course, it's classic double speak by the Samajwadi Party, because every time Mr. Agrawal, this is not a first offence if it comes down to misogyny. He's done it a number of times before as part of the Samajwadi Party. So it's a little rich for the likes of Ghanshyam Tiwari to now come and say otherwise. But you know, coming back to the question of Sambit Patra giving that explanation, because he said BJP doesn't believe in it. Does he not know that Mr. Agrawal right now is very much a part of the BJP?
Well, they realize that he is a part of BJP and they can't go out and lambast Naresh Agrawal. Previously, they used to love whenever Naresh Agrawal used to say anything controversial because he was in Samajwadi Party. But today onwards, today 4 p.m. onwards, he was a very much member of Bharatiya Janata Party, and realizing that statement came from Sambit Patra. But to give you a sense that what happened on the stage, to give a sense to our viewers, immediately after giving the statement, there was an uncomfortable smirk from Gaurav Bhatia, who also happens to be a BJP member earlier with Samajwadi Party. Then there was a quick chat between Mr. Bhatia and Sambit Patra, and then Mr. Patra stood up and said what he said. Very clearly, they are embarrassed. Very clearly, they are feeling uncomfortable, but that cannot undo what has been said, what has been done by the newly inducted member of the Bharatiya Janata Party, that is Naresh Agrawal. Controversy's child, but displaying sexism this time, probably taking it a little too further.
Thanks, Anandya, for joining us. What we will do right now is dip in to the language that Mr. Naresh Agrawal had used. Let's listen in.
समाजवादी पार्टी अपने आप समझ रही कि हम नहीं रह गए, जबकि 2012 में पूरी समाजवादी पार्टी उत्तर प्रदेश में दिखी। तो जिस तरह समाजवादी पार्टी को समाप्त किया जा रहा है और फिल्मों में काम करने वाली से मेरी हैसियत कर दी गई कि एक फिल्मों में डांस कर दें, अपना रोल कर दें, वो लोग उनके नाम पर हमारा टिकट काटा गया।
All right, as we continue to get reactions from the BJP on what they think of their newfound BJP leader, let's just shift focus to one of the most interesting consumer interest stories that have come in. A mid-air scare has come back to haunt Indigo passengers. An engine failure forced an Indigo flight bound for Lucknow to return to Ahmedabad, where it made an emergency landing this morning, forcing the DGCA to ground 8 Indigo aircrafts with immediate effect. Here's the full report.
India's largest airline by market share is having a harrowing time when it comes to safety. Low-cost airline Indigo has been involved in yet another case of engine failure. A Lucknow-bound Indigo flight was forced to return to Ahmedabad after a mid-air engine failure. It made an emergency landing at the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Airport in Ahmedabad. The Airbus A320neo, which had 186 passengers on board, landed safely after being airborne for over 40 minutes. The Ahmedabad Airport Director Manoj Gangal said, and I quote, "At around 9:38 am, the pilot of the aircraft reported failure of the second engine and requested for returning the flight to the Ahmedabad airport. Subsequently, a full emergency was declared to enable the aircraft to land safely." The DGCA even grounded 8 neo engine aircrafts with immediate effect. Indigo had earlier grounded 3 A320neos due to a nagging snag in its Pratt & Whitney engines. India Today had earlier accessed exclusive information detecting 3 major problems with the airlines. Between May 16 and November 2017, Indigo's inspection of aircraft engines detected anomalies in 69 instances. Second, Airbus A320neo features Pratt & Whitney PW4500 series engine, which have been facing what the airline calls non-safety issues related to vibration. And third, Indigo has had 3 instances of engine failures in 18 months. With Rahul Srivastav and Nagarjun Dwarkanath, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's get our viewers up to speed with the latest that is, of course, coming in. Indigo right now has, of course, grounded its aircrafts following this mid-air engine scare. So what exactly transpired? We just gave you the details. Now, this mid-air engine glitch was reported in 19 months. Indigo forced to ground now 3 A320neo planes. 3 of its A320neo planes have now been grounded. Now, the nagging snag is in the Pratt & Whitney engines. There has been a warning which has been issued that A320 have faced dual engine failure. Now, this is what happened today when a flight from Lucknow to Ahmedabad was actually grounded at Ahmedabad. I want to connect to my colleague Anandya Banerjee, who's joining us for more. Anandya, because this is serious. Now, other than just the issues that Indigo was having in terms of, the personal stuff and the interpersonal skills that it has, On the other hand, this is huge because now you have actual faults with your A320s, your planes.
Well, to begin with, these are A320 Neos, and A320 Neos engines, from very beginning there has been problem, and not only in India, from outside as well, even in US there has been a lot of problem, there has been a lot of concern rather, and even their aviation regulator raised a lot of question over there. But having said that, what earlier we witnessed, there were some Pratt & Whitney components. Indigo said that there's problem only with Pratt & Whitney components, but now what we witness is that all A320 Neo, be it with Pratt & Whitney or not, they are having problems. Having realized the seriousness of the problem, as of now, with all the problematic aircrafts have been grounded by the DGCA. But this is a serious problem. This needs a serious solution, a serious outlook. But thankfully, it is being used in India at this point of time, primarily by Indigo. So as far as consumers' point of view, those problematic engines, problematic aircrafts are being grounded, and nothing to be worried about, nothing to panic about. But yes, it's definitely a matter of concern.
All right, stay on with me. We have Nagarjuna for more. Nagarjuna, it's over to you. Can you give us the latest details? All right, we don't have Nagarjuna. I'm going to try and connect to him in just a short while from now. But Anand, now the 3 A320s are grounded. What is the Indigo airline staffers saying now? What is the way forward?
Well, the way forward is that all of them are grounded. We'll go through a series of security checks, and only after the security checks they're cleared internally, they'll be offered for a check to the DGCA, that is the aviation regulator. Once they okay it, then only it will be okay for they'll be able to fly it. So it has pretty stringent security regulations in place. But even then, we have seen there are incidents, and those incidents are not typical of India. There have been panning all over the world, wherever A320 Neo have been used. So particularly, that is one concern that Airbus itself is also very worried about. But at this point of time, nothing to worry about. All problematic engines, all problematic A320 Neo engines have been grounded.
All right. Okay, Anand, thank you for joining us. We're going to come back to you for more updates on that story. Meanwhile, a quick break. On the other side, Bangladesh passenger aircraft with 67 people on board crashes at the Kathmandu airport. At least 50 people have died after a Bangladesh passenger aircraft with 71 on board crashed at the Nepal's Kathmandu airport. According to initial reports from air traffic control, the accident took place as pilots did not listen to the directions given by the ATC. The ATC had reportedly asked the aircraft to land from the south, but the pilot decided to land from the north side. Now, according to Reuters, 17 people have been rescued so far. The Kathmandu airport has been shut, and authorities are in the process of putting out the fires. All the airlines travelling to Kathmandu have been diverted to Lucknow and Kolkata airport. The aircraft is a Bombardier Dash 8 Q400 aircraft operated by the us-bangla, a Bangladesh private airline which was founded in 2013. I want to connect to my colleague Nagarjun, who's also a trained pilot. He's joining us for more details. Nagarjun, it's rather bizarre that, one would reckon that the tenets of aviation would be that you listen to the ATS. It's bizarre that the pilots did not pay heed to the information that was being relayed. Can you hear me, Nagarjun? All right, we're going to try and connect to him in just a short while from now. But what we can unfortunately confirm for our viewers is that 50 people have died in this plane crash which has taken place at the Kathmandu airport. And reports now suggest that it possibly was an error on the part of the pilots, because what has been established is that the ATC had given directions to the pilot to land from a certain side, which was the south point side. However, the pilots, not taking that into consideration, landed from the North Point side, which resulted in this crash. 50 lives have so far been lost. All right. I want to connect to Anandya Banerjee as we try and get Nagarjun as well. Anandya, will you get us up to speed with the latest coming in terms of the casualties, the fatalities, and how exactly this crash took place?
Well, unconfirmed figures say that it was the casualties stand somewhere around 50, but confirmed sources say that it was around 37. That is the casualty figure at this point in time. Now, having said that, it was 2:15 exactly when this Q400 bombardier crashed on a field that's near the Kathmandu airport. There are sources that are telling us at this point in time that probably it's an error on the part of the pilot who didn't listen to pay heed to the directives of the ATC. ATC asked them to land from the south side. He landed instead from the right bay. That resulted in the accident, fatal accident that killed so many of the passengers. At least there's a passenger count of 67. But we also have to wait and understand that there are multiple things at play inside the cockpit. There are complications. There can be complications because it went off radar after 11,000 feet. So what went wrong when it was already airborne? Those questions can only be answered once the black box is retrieved. Because remember, a black box is something that holds the truth to every accident. It records all the conversations, and once those conversations are heard, then only investigators can come to a conclusion that who is at fault. But prima facie, it seems that the pilot clearly didn't pay heed to the ATC directive.
All right, thank you for joining us, Anandya. A quick word in from my colleague Nagarjun, who himself is a trained pilot. You know, Nagarjun, it's just bizarre because it does seem, at least prima facie, that it is the pilots who have the blood of nearly 50 people on their hands of not actually taking in on what is the tenets of aviation to listen to the ATC.
Well, it's too soon to speculate on the error of a pilot or it was a technical snag, but I can assure you that no pilot would go against the ATC command, because if the runway is in the direction of east or 90 degrees, he will have no other option other than land in that direction. So coming from the opposite direction, it's too trivial is what airport authorities have said, because these are the theories that have been floating around in a lot of social media outlets and also media outlets, but these are not confirmed angles. We'll have to wait and watch. These are only speculative information right now, but what we are picking up is 17 people that are admitted in the local hospital are also critical in situation. They have suffered fractures and have suffered burns also. So in the next 24 hours, even their health condition may deteriorate, and that we'll have to watch out for, because the death toll can increase here on.
All right, Nagarjun and Anandya, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. We're going to keep coming back to it. An unfortunate tragedy right now. The count confirmed 37, but with what seems that the numbers are going to rise in terms of fatalities. A quick break to stay with us. Up next is our sports show.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.